Hi everyone, thanks for being with me. I'm going to talk today about Mark Latham. Now, Mark is I don't know, I'll describe him, I'll use the words of the media to describe him so that I don't get myself into any trouble. He's an abominable human being. And the question I'm going to be asking today is, do you think we should be able to sack politicians for indiscretions, immoralities, for behaviour which is just wrong at any particular level? And whether or not you think we should have the power to do so. I'd like to know. Put a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Also, subscribe to my channel. Ring the bell for further notifications. Do what you need to do. And share my posts. That would be great. I'd really appreciate it. So, Mark Latham's back in the news because he's a man who has wandered from political party to political party. And even though he has made significant moves politically over the years, from the Labor Party to One Nation to another party to become an independent, because not even One Nation liked him, is significant, I think. And it's important to note that he is not a very nice human being. And as a result, his behaviour in recent times has deteriorated somewhat. So I'm going to take you to this article in the Sydney Morning Herald, where it kind of describes where all this has come from, and I think this is quite interesting. Gough Whitlam commands a legacy in the scale of which few prime ministers have matched. In 3 short years, his government extricated Australia from the Vietnam War and abolished conscription, recognised China, established Medibank and Australia Post, did away with the death penalty for Commonwealth offences, and replaced God Save the Queen with Advanced Australia Fair. Well done, Gough. Regrettably, Australia has stuck with one of the Whitlam's less desirable achievements, namely Mark Latham. Few did more to build Latham up as a potential Prime Minister than Whitlam, and it is still remarkable that he and other Labor types saw fit to think this toxic political figure could lead our country. In fairness to the then caucus, Latham's behaviour has deteriorated with time, but there were plenty of early warning signs when in December 2003, Labor MPs voted 47 to 45 to replace Simon Crean, a regrettable decision nevertheless, with a fiercely bright but deeply flawed then member for Werriwa. As the Herald's Deborah Snow and Damien Murphy reported at the time, many around Latham knew he was an erratic loner, fundamentally unsuited to the role his party had entrusted with him. And so I guess this is a strong indicator that the Labor Party, like the Liberal Party, like any other party, can stuff up. And they can make decisions based on a personality which they think is strong, but which in actual fact is extremely flawed. And one wonders how many times that has happened, a la Donald Trump. So he's on the outer, and he's on the outer for a number of reasons, but the primary one is that he was photographing women in Parliament and then making lewd comments about them. And, you know, there comes a time, I think, where the behaviour just is excessive and where something needs to be done about these people. But the problem we have is that in Australia, they're elected by us. We have in this case, I think it was a proportional representation voting system in the upper house in New South Wales, and as a result of that, he was able to win a seat, particularly under the One Nation's banner, and then later got kicked out of that position and is now an independent. And he is entitled to stay there for 8 years. Now, is it appropriate that we have someone like him sitting in Parliament at this particular point in time, and whether there is a system whereby he could be replaced? However, this article goes on to say he's a pig. Latham under fire for allegedly photographing women MPs. Senior Labor women say rogue MP Mark Latham is a pig who will be sacked in any other workplace after allegations he took photos of female colleagues while in the upper house and claims his office was used to film sordid sexual trysts. Latham is accused by his former partner, Nathalie Matthews, of a sustained pattern of emotional, physical and financial abuse, and pressured her into degrading sexual acts, which he is pursuing through a private apprehended violence order. Police have not laid any charges against Latham, who has strongly denied the claims. Of course he has. One of Labor's most senior women in the upper house, Housing Minister Rose Jackson, said that in any other workplace, Latham would have been sacked for his conduct and treatment of his female colleagues. He's a pig, she said. Obviously, it's extremely confronting for me to think that in a workplace there's someone who thinks it's acceptable to take photos of you to share with them with derogatory comments. In other workplaces, you'd be shown the door immediately, and rightly so. I don't like working in a place with someone like that who thinks that kind of behaviour is acceptable. It's clearly not acceptable, she says. And it isn't. You know, and we know through parliamentary inquiries and the type of behaviour that we've seen in federal parliament in particular as being completely inappropriate, unacceptable, where people have been bullied and people have been sexually assaulted, and that it is an environment which kind of propagates obsessive denigration of women. And Latham is a person who does all of those things in abundance. And as a result, he should be removed. So the question remains is, you know, because we elect somebody and because through our system, as flawed as it might be from time to time, should we allow this to continue? Should there be provisions in order to get rid of people based on extreme abusive behaviour? You know, if he goes to court and he gets fined, or more importantly, if he gets criminal conviction that's greater than 5 years, he would then be required to leave Parliament. But why do we have to wait to that extreme? Why can't we remove politicians earlier for misconduct such as this? Maybe we need to start to rewrite the laws that allow people to enter Parliament in the first place, and then if they behave badly, have a law or some sort of ruling that tells us that this is the time that they should leave. And maybe it should be a vote of the whole House, or both houses, in fact, in order to have that person removed. I'd love to know what you think in the comment section below. And certainly remember to subscribe to my channel, ring the bell for further notifications. Do what you need to do. But let me know what you think of the Mark Latham situation, and whether or not you think that a person who behaves such as this should be removed from his seat. Thanks everybody for being with me. Take care, look after yourselves, and more importantly, be safe.